So how many of you guys have known somebody who has dealt with either a terminal illness or a really serious illness, and their medical options, their treatment options were very limited, very expensive, or the treatment options that they were taking may not have been the best for them? In my case, my uncle, before he passed away a few years ago, was dealing with small forms of infections that caused basically paralysis in his legs. And to combat that, he was overdosing and became addicted to OxyContin. And that was pretty unfortunate to see and watch that kind of happen towards the end of his life. But that also kind of inspired me to become aware of other treatment options that are available to us as people and as a nation, and also potential substance that could help us that hasn't been legalized and hasn't been fully tested yet. I'm speaking on medical marijuana in the United States. It is something that even just with the other day on Tuesday, we had a lot of states that had to vote on either recreational or medical use. And I'm here to tell you guys about why medical marijuana should be legalized, maybe to see the benefits of the health and also the economic benefits that can come with it, and also some crime problems that could be solved with the legalization of medical marijuana. So before I go into the health benefits and how it affects us if we were to legalize it, I should explain a little bit about how it is effective and what it is. It is a plant that is naturally grown, not man-made. It has the main ingredient in it, which is THC, also known as cannabis and cannabinoids, which are basically the key ingredient in the plant that give you that mental effect and the euphoria that come from the drug. And in research with the WebMD online, I was able to find that there are over 100 known medicines that are man-made that have cannabinoids in them, which is very similar. So it's a very similar kind of substance that we are already familiar to as people and that we've already been adapted to, which is another reason why medical marijuana would be very easy to transition to into our healthcare system. It has been shown according to the Drug Facts National Institute of Drug Abuse online, it is not FDA recognized as a medicine, and those who have prescription medical marijuana cards in the states that it is legal, that is a recommendation, not a prescription, which is a common misconception. People believe that they're automatically able to go get it the same way they get the pills from a pharmacist. It is a recommendation by a licensed doctor, but it is not an actual prescription. So that is also something that has become a common misconception and has ultimately been a delayer in the legalization process. And so that's kind of the basis. It's not really more complex than that. We all know that when you consume the plant, you do have an effect to it, a reaction to it. But in terms of the economic benefits now and what it would do for our healthcare system, according to Time magazine, after the election the other day, it's 25 states going into Tuesday that were fully legalized in terms of medical use, and now it is at 28. There were also 4 other states on the ballot on Tuesday, including our own, that were doing recreational. We did not pass that, but the other 3 states did. So that kind of shows you the trend that the country's headed. I estimate about 5 to 10 years before it's fully legalized, but that's just a guesstimation based off of the research that I've done. And according to Hallucinogenics, which is a drug institute based out of Georgia, which does research on medical marijuana and other substances, they have also been able to report that in the test trials that they did on chronic diseases, cancer, inflammation, glaucoma, all of these symptoms within a matter of 2 months were kind of either fully healed or they were rectified about 50%, meaning that they were pretty well treated, and you saw progress in their healing process. So that is also an effective study coming out of Georgia, letting us know that the effective use of marijuana could help you. And also, according to the Washington Post, on election night, there were over 500,000 protesters across the nation that were either a medical marijuana carrier or a protester in favor of it, which also kind of shows you the trend that our country is headed in terms of accepting and seeing the potential benefit to it. In terms of economic benefits and what it can do for our decriminalization, cannabis is a $50 billion industry. We see Colorado and other states who have fully legalized recreational having economic boom and benefit coming to them. Infrastructure, job creation, dispensaries, cultivators, the job creation is endless. The $50 billion industry also shows the $20 billion effort that our government tries to take on the war on the plant, which is kind of silly that they could be putting that much money towards other very effective uses of that money. But that also kind of to give you an idea of how much that is. $20 billion a year is spent against weed, and 125 days, $125 per day comes out of your own pocket to battle that. And so that kind of just shows you, I believe, the nonsensical phony war on drugs we have with this particular one. But according to that same Georgia Institute that also explained the potential decriminalization benefits, it is the third largest crime organization business that is being fought against. And if you take away the decriminalization process, that basically takes away their business, which also takes away that $20 billion and puts that back into the pockets of American citizens. So in conclusion, I'd like to close with a quote from the British MP, UK Parliament, who has officially ordered for the legalization of medical marijuana in the UK. They said, "We know cannabis is illegal, but we also know it is medical." So that is understanding that we have a substance in front of us that is being pushed aside when there are potential benefits and uses to it, if used correctly, and if continued to be studied by professionals in the FDA. And so I hope you guys can go forward and see the potential benefits, and hopefully we kind of, next election, are having a different mindset. Thank you.